All right, welcome to Harrington problem number 6. In this hand, you are Jennifer Harmon, sitting UTG +1 at a full table. The blinds are 25-50. Stacks are deep, about 200 big blinds, with an effective stack around 175 big blinds. It folds to you in UTG +1, and you look down at QQ. There's no question we're raising. The real question is, how much? Do you open to 3 big blinds, 4 big blinds, even more, or do something crazy like shove? When we analyze this spot with a solver, the GTO open size at this depth is usually around 2.2 to 2.5 big blinds. But in real life, Jennifer raises to 200, which is 4 big blinds. Now here's what happens. One player folds. Corey Zeidman is in the low jack. Nicole is in the big blind. The field folds and we go to the flop with Nicole in the big blind. The flop comes Q, J10. The big blind checks. Now you have top set on a very connected board. What do you do? A, check. B, bet 300. C, bet 500. D, bet 800. E, go all in. Pause the video, think about the best line here, and when you're ready, hit play to continue. Okay, welcome back. On this flop, we have top set, QQ on QJ10. So yes, we're very strong, but this is also a very connected straight heavy board. There are many possible straights and strong draws out there. So while we're ahead a lot of the time, this is not a board where we want to bloat the pot unnecessarily. Let's look at the hand evaluation. Hands like AK, K9, and various pair plus draw combinations all have significant equity. At the same time, we have strong redraws ourselves. 1 queen left for quads, and any jack or 10 gives us a full house. Now, when we open the Analyze and Explain windows, Ace Solver actually recommends a standard continuation bet of about 1/3 pot. Why? Because on this kind of connected, straighty board, we want to bet for value, but we don't want to blow up the pot if we face a raise. A smaller C-bet keeps weaker hands in, charges draws appropriately, and allows us to respond more comfortably if we get raised. In real life, Jennifer bets 500, which is slightly larger than 1/3 pot, but still reasonable given the table dynamics. Now the action escalates. Corey raises to 2,000 chips, the big blind folds, and now it's back to Jennifer with top set. What do you do? A, fold. B, call the raise. C, re-raise, and if so, to what amount? D, push all in. Pause the video, think about your response here, and when you're ready, hit play to see what Ace Solver recommends. Welcome back. So we get raised big on the flop, and that's bad news. On a board like QJ10, when a tight player in position makes a large raise, it's usually weighted toward very strong made hands, most importantly made straights, and sometimes 2-pair or sets with redraws. In other words, this raise is basically saying, I'm not bluffing, I have it. Let's confirm that in the Explain window. Remember the situation. This is a multi-way single raised pot, and we're out of position. We made a standard continuation bet, and now we face a large raise from a tight player in the low jack. The SPR is now very low, around 2 or less, which means decisions get very binary. Ace Solver's key point is, against a range heavily weighted to made straights, we do not have the right price to continue. If we look at the numbers, the equity required to continue is around 33%. Our raw equity versus a made straight might look close, roughly mid-30s because we can boat up. But once you factor in being out of position and how often we lose our action or face ugly runouts, our realized equity drops, closer to 25% to 30%. Yes, we do have strong redraws. We can improve to a full house or quads, about 7 cleanouts. But the solver's conclusion is, we're just below the equity threshold, and we should fold. And we definitely don't jam, because we only get called by hands that already have us in trouble. That's the solver answer. However, that's not what happened in real life. Jennifer calls the raise, and now we go to the turn. The turn is the 10 of diamonds pairing the board. Jennifer is first to act. What do you do now? A, check. B, bet 1,000. C, bet 2,000. D, bet 4,000. E, push all in. Pause the video, think about it, and when you're ready, hit play to continue. Welcome back. On the turn, the 10 pairs the board, and for Jennifer, this is huge. We now have a full house, queens full of 10s. If we look at the hand evaluation, there is essentially only one holding that beats us right now, pocket 10s for quads. So what's the best play? You really have two main options. Option 1, check. You check with the intention of letting Corey continue betting, especially if he has a straight, a big draw, or some kind of combo hand. And yes, he can also show up with hands like JT for a smaller full house, so I don't hate the check as a trap. Option 2, bet for value. And when we open the Analyze and Explain windows, Ace Solver prefers that we bet here, not for protection, because we have massive equity, but because we want to extract value and control how the money goes in. We don't want to let the low jack dictate the sizing. We want to bet in a way that sets up a river shove. So the solver prefers a strong value bet, often at least half pot and sometimes even all in, because a straight will frequently pay us. But in real life, that's not what Jennifer did. She checks, and Corey bets 1,000. Now Jennifer has a decision. Do you call? Do you raise to 3,000? Or do you jam all in? In real life, Jennifer raises to 3,000, and Corey calls. Now we go to the river. The river is the 7. Jennifer is first to act again. Now what do? A, check. Push all in. Pause the video, think about it, and when you're ready, hit play for the final solution. Welcome back. When we look at the hand evaluation, we can see that on the turn, there was only one hand that beat Jennifer's full house, pocket tens for quads. Now the river comes the 7 of diamonds, and that introduces one additional hand that beats us, 8 of diamonds and 9 of diamonds, which makes a jack high straight flush. So at this point, there are only two combinations that beat Jennifer, pocket tens for quads, 8 of diamonds and 9 of diamonds for the straight flush. That's it. When we open the Analyze and Explain windows, the picture is very clear. The SPR is extremely small, around 0.2, which means this hand was perfectly set up one street earlier for a river shove. With 95% plus equity, there is really no alternative now. We are not checking, we are not slow playing. We are going for maximum value. So the solver recommendation is simple: push all in. And that is exactly what Jennifer Harmon does. She shoves all in. And unfortunately, Corey Zeidman calls with 8 of diamonds and 9 of diamonds, making the jack high straight flush. A brutal cooler. But this hand becomes incredibly valuable from a learning perspective. It gives us a perfect opportunity to later review whether Jennifer should have jammed directly on the turn instead of setting up the river. That's it for Harrington problem number 6. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in problem number 7.